Osha. Osha is a root, is a plant that I use for lungs. If you could smell it, you'd understand why. Just smelling it opens up your sinuses and your lungs. I use this plant for both sinuses and lungs. It opens up the mucous membranes, it reduces inflammation, it helps expel mucus from the lungs and the sinus. And today I'm going to make a tincture of it. This plant is endangered, so if you are going to purchase it in commerce, please do so from an ethical herbal purveyor. So if you can get cultivated, that's great. Wild harvested is really where you're going to get it. But please be mindful of this medicine because it is an endangered plant. I'm going to grow it this year in my garden. I have some plants coming and I'm going to try to find the perfect location for it. It's typically found in the higher elevations. And it likes this rockier soil and slightly cool conditions. So we'll see how it goes this year for growing it. But right now I'm using a mortar and pestle here. This is a wonderful tool for anyone who is working with plants. Osha root is not a super hard root, so it's kind of easy to break up into small pieces about the size of the tip of your thumb, or smaller for tincture. I've got my my container ready, and so I do add this to I make a cough syrup for COPD. So if you know anyone with COPD, they could benefit from Osha. A combination of Osha and lobelia with a teeny bit of mullein is the COPD syrup, and that it just works wonderful for COPD. But I also use it for Osha for sinus infections. It's in a sinus extract, and of course I use it in the Corona with a lemon tea. So this tea I use for the Rona, for any upper respiratory virus. It works really well to keep the lungs clear. It's in a combination of other herbs in the Corona with a lemon tea, which also has, sweet Annie and Sakona bark and all these wonderful antivirals and supportive herbs for a viral infection. Osha is revered medicine. It's considered bear medicine for many reasons. The bears like to eat it. It is not to be wasted. So this is going to go into extract. I'm going to make it strong. And this year, not this year, but this time, I'm going to fool around with possibly making a double extraction with this, which is for another video, but it's usually how I prepare mushroom medicine. But because this is a root and it has so much medicine in it, I want to be sure to get it all out. So I'm using a high alcohol content for the tincture. You can see that. And it's a pretty strong extract at about, if I remember the math correctly, I have it written down. It's about a 1 to 5. So there's 1 part herb to 5 parts alcohol. And I'm going to let this sit for a while. And then the alcohol is going to be a high ethanol content. So I'm probably going to do about 75. And then let it sit. And then I'm going to take out the Osha root. And then I'm going to gently decoct it. So I'm going to cook it like I would soup. And then I'm going to take the alcohol piece and the water piece, and I'm going to marry them together. And they'll live happily ever after in a jar. And I'm going to use that for people with lung problems. I like to use it for people with asthma. It has some antihistaminic qualities to it. So allergic asthma tends to really feel tight. If you have asthma or know somebody with asthma, your lungs get really tight and inflamed, and this will just help gently open and stop that allergic process and help you breathe better. So that's always a good thing. So this is Osha, and it's revered medicine. So please, if you purchase Osha Root, be sure you're purchasing from a reputable source, that you know they've sourced it properly, and don't waste any of it. Thanks.